Hello, my name is Caitlin Swearingen, and this is going to be a presentation on the ISTE standards. The ISTE standards has both standards for teachers and students. Today we're going to be looking at both of these different standards a little bit more in depth so that you as teachers can feel more comfortable implementing them into your classroom. So what is ISTE? ISTE stands for the International Society for Technology Education. ISTE is a community of global educators who believe in the power of technology to transform teaching and learning, accelerate innovation, solve tough problems in education. The ISTE standards tell us what the teachers and students should be doing in their roles as teachers and students. Now we're going to take a look at the ISTE standards for teachers, and then we will look at the ISTE standards for students after that. So the ISTE teacher standards for teachers has 7 standards in all. Each standard also has substandard as well that explain the standards in more detail. So basically, there are 7 standards: learner, leader, citizen, collaborator, designer, facilitator, and analyst. So the 7, I have a picture up here on the screen. The 7 standards each are broken down into at least 3 substandards, and some have 4. The substandards just give a more in-depth look at the standards. So for the example, the ISTE standard 1 for teachers, learner, is educators continually improve their practice by learning from and with others and exploring proven and promising practices that leverage technology to improve student learning. So that is the beginning, that is the main standard. I have listed below the substandards that this is broken down into. So standard 1A is set professional learning goals to explore and apply pedagogical approaches made possible by technology and reflect on their effectiveness. So this is telling teachers that for standard 1A, this is what they need to be doing in their classroom. Standard 1B, pursue professional interests by creating and actively participating in local and global learning networks. And standard 1C, stay current with research that supports improved student learning outcomes, including findings from the learning sciences. Now, I'm not going to go and show you all the teacher standards because there are 7 of them, and they are each broken down into at least 3 or 4 substandards, and that would take a very long time. So I'm only going to do the first standard of the teacher standards, and then I will only do 1 standard for the student standards as well. You can go online at any time and look at them, all the rest of them more in depth at iste.org. And when you get there, you can just click on standards, and then it has all the different standards for teachers, students, coaches, and all of the standards that they have made. So now we're going to jump into the ISTE student standards. So the ISTE student standards help teachers guide the learning and curriculum they create for the students. It tells the teacher what the students need to do to meet the standards. There are 7 student standards, and they are empowered learner, digital citizen, knowledge constructor, innovative designer, computational thinker, creative communicator, and global collaborator. Each of the standards are also broken down into substandards like the teacher standards. They give the teacher a more in-depth look at the standards. So I'm going to talk to you and show you standard 2 of the ISTE student standards, digital citizenship. The standard is students recognize the rights, responsibilities, and opportunities of living, learning, and working in an interconnected digital world, and they act and model in ways that are safe, legal, and ethical. 2A, students cultivate and manage their digital identity and reputation and are aware of the permanence of their actions in the digital world. 2B, students engage in positive, safe, legal, and ethical behavior when using technology, including social interactions, online, or when using network devices. 2C, students demonstrate an understanding of and respect of the rights and obligations of using and sharing intellectual property. And 2D, students manage their personal data to maintain digital privacy and security and are aware of data collection technology use to track their navigation online. Now again, these standards, they're going to be a lot like your Common Core standards. You use them to guide your instruction, and that's what these are, but in the technology sense. And now again, I'm only going to show you the standard 2 for this, just because to keep the video a little short. So in conclusion, like I said, I didn't want to go over every standard individually, so I chose one of each to give you a better idea of what they are. And you can go to look at more, you can go to look more at the standards. You can go to www.isde.org. Thank you for listening. This is Caitlin Swearingen, and I hope you learned a lot.